everybody, I just want to quickly show you what has arrived from Trollbeads. This I think will be my last purchase from the official shop in Australia for a long time yet. This I usually only buy on special, but because I returned or I canceled 2 orders totaling about 250, and I can't receive a refund. I didn't know they don't issue refunds, only store credits. And with store credits, there come various restrictions. So I've mentioned this in a previous video, and it's not an ideal situation for me. But also, other than hold on a second. Other than my anxiety over being placed in a similar position where a lot of money is stuck that way, I've also come to the end of my collection list, I suppose. So I've picked this one here because it's a fern and that represents New Zealand for me, along with a kiwi. And these are rose quartz. I think rose quartz traditionally have been a symbol, or depending on your belief system, because I know there's a temple back in Indonesia that was being built back in the day, in the era of the second president. So that's up to 1997. From 1966, temples such as this particular one that I saw being built won't be allowed to exist, but in the name of unity of various ethnicities and various religions. Minority religions are heavily restricted and policed. So anyway, this is a huge, I'm not quite sure what temple, I'm not quite sure it's strictly Buddhist. It's, yeah, I don't know enough about it to say, but maybe it's a Confucian temple, maybe it's a Taoist temple, I have no idea. But there's this huge rose quartz ball that is to be planted underneath the temple as a foundation, as part of the foundation. So I know that rose quartz and all these gems have not only symbolic meaning, but quite heavily metaphysical legacy attached to them. I personally myself do not subscribe to that belief system. However, the symbolic meaning of love, self-love, of healing and all that is quite appealing to me, but also it's, to be honest with me, mainly it's aesthetic. I like how this is framed. I like how this is designed. So there's 3 types here. I can't remember what each of these are, but one of them is definitely rose quartz, potentially strawberry quartz. I have no idea. And then this one here, and that one there, that's a stopper or a spacer in the lingo of Trollbeads. Basically a silicone piece wrapped in silver. I believe in the Pandora world, that is served by clip stations and clips, or clips with silicone inserts. So I don't believe with Trollbeads you have clip stations. So you basically have these silicone stoppers, and that's it. That's the only way you can space up and keep your beads still. So yeah, so with Pandora, I've basically stopped collecting. I have a list of retired beads that I've put aside, and sometimes something will pop up that's part of that list, and if it's a good buy, I would make the purchase. But I no longer am hunting for anything or pursuing anything. There's 3 more collection from the Winnie the Pooh range, Pooh Bear, Eeyore, and what's the other one? Piglet. I was going to purchase that in the buy 2 get 1 free, and but then that came to about $70 each, I think, or $60 each, and I thought, you know what, I'll take my chances. I'll wait for buy 1 get 1 free. I'll wait for when I can get them for about $50 to $40 each, or maybe secondhand. Sometimes they're cheaper secondhand. I don't mind it being worn a little bit. In fact, it helps me feel less anxious when I am wearing worn ones, because then it's already not damaged, but it already have signs of wear. Then I don't have to worry about being the first person to create the first dent or the first scratch, you know. That's me. My sister's different. She wants everything pristine, and every scratch she wants them to be there, to be hers. So that's also on hold. So 2 more parcels are coming from Europe. I purchased a bunch more from a reseller, a collector, from the secondary market, and after that it's the end. So I've completed that list. I've closed that list. I'm just waiting to organize shipping, delivery, tracking, la-di-da, just finalizing the transaction. And I'll show you those when it arrived. After that, that's the end. So I'm not quite sure what I am going to post on this channel other than updates for the BTS bracelets until all of the members submitted their enlistment for the mandatory military service to the South Korean Ministry of Defense. Currently, 3 of them have dropped their solo albums. I love them all. J-Hope, Jimin, and RM, and Jin dropped a single. The imagery of butterflies, as I mentioned in my previous video, have been used widely by the group BTS, by J-Hope, and by Jimin. And so I've moved that butterfly glass Murano bead over from my secondary BTS bracelet to my primary BTS bracelet. And so one of the older member is currently preparing for a tour, and he may drop something, I don't know. And then after that, the 2 youngest, I'm not sure, but I'll post that update as I go along. So I am not sure what to do after that, or aside from that. Would you like to see more BTS merch, or would you like to see more antique beads, maybe antiques, antique groceries, antique jewelry, antique silver, Victorian jewelry, Art Nouveau jewelry? I suspect most of you here are here for the jewelry, so I suspect if there's to be a vote, I don't have enough subscribers to have a community post and to open up a vote, but feel free to comment down below. Would you like to see more jewelry, antiques perhaps? I can show you some trade beads, trade amber. So these are antique ambers made from resin and egg yolk instead of from the sap of trees, you know, the gum of a particular tree. I have turquoise, vintage turquoise from Albuquerque, from that side of the United States. Old Victorian silver from the 1800s, and some Art Nouveau jewelry from the early 1900s. Yeah, just leave me a suggestion down below. Otherwise, after showing you my 2 incoming parcels of more troll beads, I might go on a hiatus for a bit, take a break. I've also recently taken up a new employment. That means I can only film in the weekend and only if my husband's not at home. So yeah, until then, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.